Charisma Quotient. I'm your host, Kim Seltzer, a dating and makeover expert, where I will help you build confidence, make connections, and find love from the outside in. It's an almost inevitable side effect of dating. You make yourself vulnerable to someone you like, and then they tell you, hopefully gently, that they're just not into you. Or perhaps you strike up a conversation online and someone you are really, really excited about. The exchange is hot and heavy. And for a few days, to the point where you can't even wait to finally meet them on a date, IRL, in real life, and poof, they ghost you and never hear from them again. Getting rejected can feel almost like a punch in the gut. But when you have that happen, you cannot let it from, you staying open and optimistic about things. Rejection is not only a natural part of the dating experience, but also an essential step towards finding a relationship that's going to make you truly happy in the end. It also builds resilience where eventually you'll bounce back. I always say there is no such thing as rejection, but really it has to do with experience. And these type of experiences will allow you to build your dating confidence and get to know yourself in the process. So instead of taking the rejection as, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I wasn't good enough. In the end, when you have that self-esteem, you'll say, whew, well, I'm glad that didn't work out. That saved me time and money, and I dodged a bullet. Now I can spend time finding someone who is right for me and available. I remember I was working with this male client who had very low self-esteem and confidence when it came to dating. And a lot of it had to do with him not simply having dating experience at all. He only had one relationship in his entire life. And the older he got, the harder it was. And he fell into this rabbit hole of doing nothing because, in his mind, the fear of rejection became greater than his ability to at least try to put himself out there. That's why he called me. And he had also gained weight. He had a lot of low motivation to exercise and didn't have a very robust social life. Because the thought of dating was so overwhelming, I thought I would just start small with him by having little baby steps to build his confidence. And I had him just start an exercise routine. And then with that, he was going to the gym. And then guess what? I said, well, while you're at the gym, why don't you just practice talking to a bunch of people, including women? So he did. And then I also had him practicing conversations online to build his social confidence and flirt skills, of course, because he had none. And slowly, as time went on, he started feeling better in his body with consistent exercising, and talking to women wasn't really scary anymore. And he was very surprised at that, because the more he did it, the more it just became kind of natural. And he realized that even though there were women who didn't talk to him, after a while, he said, yeah, but there's plenty of women who do talk to me. And this concept snowballed into then asking women out without fear, and eventually started dating one he really liked. He turned moments of rejection into an opportunity for growth and found himself projecting a more positive energy and attracting new potential partners. So you can learn how to deal with rejection that can help you ease the sting, grow from experience, and move on with your life after being turned down. And with me on the line today is a man who has certainly done that after experiencing a huge public, well, a lot of people would say rejection, but he turned that rejection into a huge gift and has turned it not only to success, but an inspiration to help others with. He is a Hong Kong born American motivational speaker and former singer. He gained worldwide cult followers since his unsuccessful audition. And I'm not even going to say unsuccessful. To me, it was successful in what he's accomplished. In the popular singing reality TV show, American Idol, it was season 3, and I totally remember this season in 2004. He attracted the 3 judges and millions of viewers by singing exceptionally and performing to Ricky Martin's She Bangs. how perfect for the show, by the way. I'm just kidding. He he then accidentally turned into a novelty star due to his fondness for karaoke. And his fame became the center of the topic among many fans, although accused of lacking musical talent, rose to fame for his honest and earnest and unapologetic geek side. He now is a motivational speaker, passionate about topics related to finding the right level of confidence that is based on reality. And he believes everyone has a right to chase their dreams and try something new without being judged or ridiculed. William Hung, are you there?
Woo!
I thought you were going to come in with the song. I'm not going to lie. Can you give us a little rendition just to walk down memory lane?
She bangs. Oh, baby, when she moves, I go crazy.
Oh my gosh. William, I love that you're here and this conversation is going to be awesome. And I love how we met, by the way.
Yes.
When was it? What year was it? It was right, I think, at 2020 when we met at Podfest,
Yes.
right? And I recognized you. And then when we had just a great conversation, I remember afterwards, and we were talking about dating. Even though
Yeah.
I was there for the casting world, you were very interested. And I think I don't know if you were dating at the time, but you were interested in the topic for sure. So
Yeah.
um anyway, welcome. And I'm excited just for you to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, so I have a question because I mean, obviously I know your story a little bit and your bio a lot as a lot of people do, but what because I really want to talk about this notion of, when you're feeling rejected and it is hard, especially as someone who wants something so badly, or maybe you're like novice at something, and to feel that pain or the hit of the rejection and to just get back up on the rink, even though you had a blow, you just got back out there and somehow made it into your like success. In that moment when you had that at American Idol, did you know that everything was gonna happen the way it did?
No, of course not. I was pleasantly surprised when I got emails inviting me to do interviews, some movie opportunities, performance. It was crazy.
And how did you then, like, become more, confident and continue to do even interviews and, like, what you just did now? Like, you just did another rendition of it with no problem, not even hesitating. How did you build your confidence towards all that?
Well, I'm very clear on my purpose and my mission in life is to bring more happiness to the world. So I'm not afraid that I have to live up to the best singing talent or musical talent or whatever standard that other people set.
I love that. Were you always this way? Like, even when you were younger?
No, I feel it's a conscious choice after American Idol. Yes, I have a lot of fans, but I also have a lot of critics. My critics say that I don't have musical talent. I shouldn't be in the entertainment industry. Go back to school. You are a shame for other Asians and many other terrible criticism.
And so, how were you able then to get over some of that criticism and just like move forward?
Well, I think the best one of the best ways is to show by the actions you take, the choices you make, share your story more often. That's the main in the
Mm.
purpose for me to get into the entertainment business in the first place. Yes, the money was nice, but it wasn't just the money. It was my chance to share my version of my story with the world.
That's really beautiful. So, like, really, what you're saying is it had to do with like the motivation behind it. Because if it was just fame and fortune, you may not have had that motivation.
Yes.
Hmm. Had you always had that desire, like even before American Idol, to be an inspiration and motivation for others? Like, was that just ingrained in you somewhere?
Perhaps. Yeah, one of my friends mentioned that I'm the 73rd generation descendant of Confucius. So Confucius is a very famous philosopher in China.
When Confucius say that, you, you listen. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. Well, and this might get just because I'm a therapist, I am so interested in like stories people have. Like growing up, was there always a belief that you could do something, or were you criticized even when you were younger?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was. I don't remember all the details, but I remember I was also bullied in school. I got sucker punched in middle school. I will never forget that. And I fell on the floor. I couldn't get up. I felt so helpless. The first instinct is to learn some martial arts so I can hit back at that guy. Yeah, but that's
Mm.
not the best way because violence only breeds violence. So the solution is to like now, fast forward to the current world. We need to teach people, educate people about how to accept each other's differences.
I love that. Yeah, and thank you for sharing that because I think usually it's not just one incident that happens to us. Like there's things over time, and I think which and maybe this helped you with American Idol, like the fact that you were bullied and you already had experience with rejection on some level, it kind of you get like a tough skin, over time, and you develop, the ability to move past that. And, that's the same thing with dating too, by the way, because I think that people shut down. They don't want to like go after the girl that they want, or they don't think they deserve it and that kind of thing. I wondered, like, did this show up in your dating life as well?
Yeah, it's a long journey because the first 4 years for entertainment, I thought I was living my dream life. Everything was going great. I travel and perform everywhere. But then the career, the business slowed down. I didn't get as many opportunities. I thought maybe it's time to settle down. My parents gave me pressure to get married before the age of 30. So I tried to find someone very quickly. I didn't get to know this first person really well. And I got married, even though I only know her for about a week,
Oh,
literally
really?
after some
Oh.
dating. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's something that I'm not proud of. I would never do that again. I definitely suggest don't do that again. With you want to know somebody very well. It's not exact time. But a few weeks is definitely not enough.
Oh my god. Well, I didn't even know that. Thank you for sharing that. So, well, and what you're saying is so true. Is like when you are doing things because other people want you to do things rather
Yeah,
than coming from a place of what you want, what you desire. That
yeah.
is so, so important. And so, oh wow. So you got married. So then what happened after that?
Well, unfortunately, I was quick to marry, but also quick to divorce because I know she's not the right person. She didn't have the good values. So I just thought like, wow, why did I even marry this person? So the biggest lesson I learned is that don't believe in the movies. Everything will be okay. It's all positive, so easy. Relationships are not easy. Yeah, and also don't just look for the pretty girl.
It's the shiny object syndrome, as I call it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So you learned that pretty quick. And then so then how did you regain confidence to get back out there and cuz you have a happy ending that I know you'll share with everyone.
Yeah, so I learned to spend more time discovering that person's values, and then find some common interests. I feel like there will be differences. You're not going to find the perfect match, but maybe for example, the person that I found. if I was right to marry,
Mhm.
I feel like I became an extrovert. It doesn't matter how it happened, right? Maybe sometime after American Idol, like
Right.
I know it's based on the life, the situation, but because I know I'm extrovert, maybe it's better to find an introvert. So that's just one of the things I was looking for. Maybe something else is that I realized that I'm always a kid, even though I'm 40 years old. I like I like to do something goofy and a little bit like my wife said, a little bit naughty sometimes.
Yeah.
So we have that, but so not everybody has that. So you want to find something that helps you have that unique match.
Well, and what's so great about what you said, I do something with my clients, I call it data dating, meaning like you're collecting data and it's not really on the people that you're dating, but you're collecting data on yourself. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm going to try this on for size and see what fits. And, I equate it to shopping a lot, like with clothes. Like sometimes you'll look at something on a hanger and it looks really great, like the shiny object, right? And then you
yeah,
try it on and you're like, no, I don't really like it. That's
yeah.
not me,
Yeah.
and I love that you kinda took the time to, really figure out what was best for you, and that was independent than what your parents wanted for you. Like, it's like, "This is what I want. This is me."
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Wait, so then how did you end it so fast forward to now, like, as you started dating women, like, how did you do that? Like, did you go online? Did you because you said you became more extroverted, did you start, like, picking up women? Like, what did you do?
I still went on some dating apps like Hinge.
Uh-huh.
And then I had some few dates there. But I haven't, but I didn't find the right person yet. It goes both ways. Sometimes it's because the other person feels that I don't have this stable job. I have a lot of risk with what I do, entertainment, playing poker or whatever ventures out I might have in my life. But that's something that I'm probably not going to stop doing. That's why I enjoy. I don't want to just be glued to an office job for the rest of my life and be proud. Yes, I
Yeah.
might end up doing it. I may need to do it, but it's not my long term vision. So you have to be very clear about what you can compromise and what you cannot.
It's so true. So, did you have the courage to go up to women and, like, approach them or pick them up as you started
Yeah,
getting confidence?
I learned it was a learned skill. I it's not something I was good at when I was young, but yeah, I had to learn. I ask questions, go have a drink, and then if it works out, do something fun together, have a meal together. Maybe if that works out, maybe you go watch a movie, go hiking, do something together, and then eventually you figure out, oh, okay, this person, when we experience these activities, oh, okay, that's why I learned about this character.
Yes. No, that's so true. All right. So I have kind of a goofy, silly question that I'm dying to know, and maybe others do too. Did you ever use She Bangs with women, the song, to pick them up?
No,
You didn't. You didn't use
no,
it. Good for you.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, people knew who I was, but
Yeah.
that was not something that I try not to have that be the main topic. Yes, it's one of the topics they have to know. But it shouldn't be the main topic.
Yeah. Well, and what's great about that too is I'm sure on some level, and this is with anyone who is like in the public eye, you want to know someone who likes you for you and not for the fame or the name kind of
Yes.
thing. So I love that you didn't lead with that. But it's just kind of funny play on words, like with the whole where she bangs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um you said that you had, kind of these 3 principles you learned from poker and entertainment to help set aside wishes and judgment and drama in search of what is right. Like, what are those principles? I'd love to hear that.
Well, one of the principles is that is to be brutally honest with yourself.
Mm,
It's easier said than done. It sounds so simple to do, but it's actually hard to do. Like admitting the mistakes I made in the past, whether I took too much risk with my trading or gambling or whatever, or sometimes I thought I have an advantage. I don't. Whatever I might be doing, I thought I have an edge. Whatever career or whatever things venture, I thought it was good, but it wasn't good. I took some substantial loss. I had to learn from it.
mhm,
The key is to share that with your partner, because before, I wasn't willing to open myself up. I thought like maybe I can hide that as long as possible. Don't bring more trouble to the conversation. But that's not true, because if that person is the right soulmate, the right partner for you, she will appreciate you sharing that.
oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And so much
Yeah,
of what you're saying is about being your authentic self, right? Like
yeah,
people talk about that a lot. And like you said, it's easier said than done, because you can see it in theory, but then when you're feeling insecure or not confident,
yeah,
sometimes, people will kind of shapeshift into what others want of you, right? And not
yeah.
being your authentic self. So I love that kind of message. What are the other principles?
Well, the other ones is that you always have a choice in life. It's when you go in there with that mindset, you feel I feel like I'm empowered. It's
Mm,
not like yes, it's even the wife that I marry now. Yes, we I think for us, marry 1 plus 1 is equal 3, 4 or whatever, right? It's not
yeah,
two,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
you know but I feel, but she's what she said in her wedding while it makes in the beginning. I still remember, because she said that she could be happy as a single person too. She loves herself first.
Mm,
But but it's not just that. The when you finally find the right person, you feel like you want to build a better future together.
it's beautiful. Oh, well, I do want to hear a little more about how you met her, the one that
Yeah,
you just got married, so congrats.
thank you.
Yeah, how did you meet?
By chance, my parents go see their family doctor in LA, and then
Mhm.
she works for the same medical clinic.
Oh, and how did you, like, first approach her? Do you remember?
Well, actually, my mom introduced me to her because she does the medical billing. So
Uh,
every time I was the one, taking down the information for my parents.
oh my god, moms are the best matchmaker ever. It's like they knew, yeah, so she made it a little bit easier. Like, when you first were talking to her, did you know that she had something special for you?
The first few times we date each other, we were not sure yet. But
Oh.
after like the second date, then I feel more comfortable, because, like I said, it's if she wasn't the right person, she may have left already. She would have said like, no, 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 you're not the right person, or maybe she just hang up, ghost me, right? Not pick up the phone anymore. Because I took the chance by being sharing everything. I share the good side that people know about, but I also share many of the some of the key mistakes I made that I wasn't proud of, whether it was the gambling addiction, whether it's acting on impulse to marry the wrong people in the past. I feel like I took the chance to have that deep conversation with her in the beginning.
That's awesome. I mean, that vulnerability, and I tell people this all the time. I even have workshop on it coming up is, when you are your authentic and vulnerable self, I believe that it creates also a bigger emotional connection with someone. And you get to see like if you feel safe, with
Yeah,
that person.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. You know what that also says of what you just shared, coming full circle from the times you've been rejected or bullied in the past to have the courage also to be vulnerable and share something that was deeper and Probably pretty risky in some ways, to do that early on and look at the reward you got from it, because then you got to see how she responded to you, and that's what you want. You want someone who responds in the way that she did that probably got you closer.
Yeah, because the other girls I dated, yeah, they did leave, and that's okay. I don't feel bad. Yeah,
Bam. See what you just said right there? That's when you know that you have built the confidence and the resilience from being rejected. When you
yeah,
can say to yourself, I don't care, that means they're not the right one. That's
yeah,
when the right one does chime in.
yeah.
So here's a question, because I mean, people might be listening to this and say, well, he has it a little easier because he got like that claim to fame, or, maybe people kind of lifted you up along the way. Like, what would you tell someone who is just constantly feeling rejected and is scared to death to put themselves out there?
Well, I learned this lesson the hard way because with my previous marriage, one of the problem was that I tried to hide the bad things, in the sand, right underneath, try to bury under the sand until she discovered it, and then it's too late, right? No more discussion. Like this, she felt like I was lying to her, I wasn't honest with her, and that was it. So even in other some of my past relationships, that I thought would work out, I tried to hide those bad things, and not have that open discussion in the beginning. It bite me. I came back to haunt me. So yeah.
That's a good point. And like, what ways would it come back to haunt you? This is important for people to hear.
Well, so just to put it out there, I married twice before. I married the third time for the find the right person. So the first one, felt I had no chance because she wasn't that interested in me. She was more interested to come to America. The second one, I did have a chance. She was a good person, but I screwed up. I had to own up to it. I screwed up that one, because I was trying to hide the bad things underneath. And then when she found out whether it's losing a lot of money from sports betting or whatever else I was doing that's not good, yeah, that's why she divorced. I know if I were to do that over again, this is why, with my current wife, why I say to her is like, okay, I'm not saying that I'll never gamble again, but I would set a budget. This is how much I can afford. This is how much I plan to go with each day or each week or whatever it is. It's not going to negatively affect our life.
It is so true. And I've heard a lot of people struggle with this, especially like when your confidence is really low. And
Yeah,
in the beginning, like you almost will do anything just to get people to like you
yeah,
or accept you. You start
yeah,
lying not only to other people, but to yourself. And
yeah,
you're right. Like that's what creates those like toxic or lopsided relationships that in the end actually are worse than any kind of relationship, because it started out almost in a lie to yourself. And
yeah.
that I love that you just like really highlighted that, because it is about what we're talking about. Building confidence is not about being something that you're not, but it's
Yeah.
leaning into who you are, and the right people will accept that.
Right.
Yeah. William, you're awesome. I like thank you so much for sharing like your personal story and all this wisdom that you have. Are there any kind of last parting words that you want to leave people with?
Well, the last principle is to be very patient with the results, because the reason I'm able to have a happier relationship, find the right person, was because of all the obstacles I had to went through, all the mistakes I made in the past, and I had to learn from. So that's why, if you don't get it right the first time, it's okay. Second time, third time, it's okay, but learn something from it. Try not to make the same mistake twice.
Amen. Oh my God. Yeah, I think you were Confucius. You're very wise. No, thank you. I know I always say like adversity are gifts in disguise, but you don't see it when you're going like through it at that time. And it's not until you're past it and you look back and you say, "Oh, wow. Well, there was the gift." Because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be here today.
That's right.
Yeah. William, thank you. Is there anything that you want to share with the audience and ways of getting in touch with you? Do you have anything that you're working on that you want people to know?
Yeah, sure. I am most active on Instagram, William Hung Official. You can also reach out to me on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm doing a couple of filming projects. I have a performance coming up in Buffalo, New York. So if you want to see me in person, message me, and I'll find a way to get you some tickets.
Nice. Can I come?
Buffalo. Yeah, I had to get some more information, so I had to check.
Okay, good. I would love that. Great, great. All right, William, thank you so, so much. And of course, thank you for joining us, you listening. This has been the Charisma Quotient, and I'm your host, of course, Kimmy Seltzer. And remember, you can build confidence, make connections, and find love from the outside in. And if you want to know more, make sure you go to my site, kimmyseltzer.com. And if you are scared of rejection and struggle with confidence in your dating life, hop on a call with me to talk about ways to help you. And just click the link that you see in the show notes and you can get a free call with me. And remember, working on you is working on your dating life. That's all for now.